This is the AMDM, your quick morning podcast full of Memphis news. I'm Natalie Van Gundy. Today is Monday, July 27th. A nonprofit law firm that provides free and affordable immigration representation to low-income clients is likely closing by September after its federal funding ceased. Mid-South Immigration Advocates is owed more than $500,000 after the feds failed to pay more than $65 million owed to nonprofits like MIA across the country. The government canceled a contract that provided funding for lawyers representing immigrant children, but it was supposed to continue funding work through July 31st. Other local immigrant rights groups were affected by the cuts, too. Rape, robbery, and assaults were all down more than 30% in the first half of 2026. The Memphis Shelby Crime Commission reported last week that crime in the city and county fell across every category. But there was one type of crime that saw a much smaller drop: domestic violence. Though DV fell nearly 6% in the city and county, the decline was small enough for the Crime Commission to move its focus to domestic violence victim support going forward. Democrats in Shelby County are turning out to vote early in higher numbers than the last midterm election in 2022, and Republican turnout is down. The change comes in an election year when Tennessee redistricted U.S. House lines to split Memphis into three parts and dilute the Democratic vote. And while that may be good news for Dems in Memphis, the early voting turnout stateside so far has been more red than blue. And now it's time for a look at This Week in Memphis with Mary Casciola. But stay with us after that for more of the day's news.
Good morning. I'm Mary Casciola. It's Monday, July 27th, and newsletter editor Bianca Phillips is here with us to talk about what's ahead this week. Bianca, good to see you.
Glad to be here.
Okay, so, I have to say this thing about how we're on video now. So if you want to watch us on YouTube, you can. But if you also just want to continue listening to us through our audio podcast, that's fine too, right?
Yes. That'd be great if you didn't want to look at our faces.
I'm fine if you see our faces. Okay, well, let's just get right into it. It's Monday morning.
Yeah.
What is happening this week?
Well, just quickly, the Shelby County Commission meets today.
Oh, yes.
It's that time again.
Yes, it's Monday.
Yeah.
Every other Monday.
Yeah. So that happens.
Okay.
But on Thursday, International Paper will have their second quarter earnings call. Mm-hmm. And that's going to be on Thursday. So they just closed a packaging facility in Carrollton, Texas. I think we announced that last week. Mm-hmm. We didn't announce that, but we wrote about it.
We did write about it.
They announced it. More than 60 employees are impacted by that closure.
And that means their jobs will be gone and they could get new jobs with the company, but those jobs no longer exist.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what it sounds like.
Yes.
They also just temporarily closed a mill in Pine Hill, Alabama after a weather event. So lots going on at IP right now. And they're going to talk about second quarter earnings.
I definitely feel like IP is one of those companies that we are watching closely right now. Obviously, they are one of Memphis's publicly traded companies, but they've had some rocky road recently. And we're getting reminded they've had a leadership change. They just ceased operations in facilities in Kentucky and Illinois. They're converting plants in California, New Jersey. I think with their leadership change, they have sort of a new vision for how they're going to move forward. But that's always interesting, challenging. I don't know. But we will hear more on Thursday.
They're also 7 months into that split, where they're splitting into two public companies, which seems like kind of a big deal.
Yes.
So, lots going on.
Yes. Yeah. Tons of stuff. So that will be interesting. Friday, something is happening that is very near and dear to your heart.
Yes. Sort of. Son of a Vegan is closing, which is a vegan restaurant in the Hickory Ridge Mall. They have really, really good lasagna. Mm-hmm. Best vegan lasagna. I have to admit, though, I have never actually been to the restaurant.
Because it's in Hickory Ridge Mall?
Because it's so far away.
Yeah.
I've had their food at vegan festivals and pop-ups. Mm-hmm. And I usually always make sure I get the lasagna when I do that because it's so good. I've been meaning to get out there since they opened in 2023. So I feel like I'm part of the problem. So,
I mean, I don't want to say that you are, but
well,
I mean, sometimes this goes back to that old real estate adage of location, location, location. I'm sure there's nothing wrong with Hickory Ridge Mall. It's probably a great location, but to your point, that's not a place that you go all the time.
right. So anyway, they wanted to stay open for a couple weeks after they announced it, so to give people a chance to have one last meal.
I think that is nice. I think it's nice for the customers because then they can say like, oh, I got to go there one last time. I also think it's nice for the staff because it gives them a little bit of like, oh, we're going to go ahead and you're going to have a job for however much longer. And then.
Yeah, they announced it almost, I think, 2 weeks before. So they're going to get like a 2 weeks notice, which is nice.
That is nice.
As a worker. But
yeah,
I might try to get out there this week. We'll see if I have time to get to Hickory Hill. But
okay. Well,
but I'm sad to see a vegan restaurant closing is always sad for me, no matter if I went there or not.
Right. Well, if you do, please bring us back some vegan lasagna because I would like to try it. But I also do not have time to go to Hickory Ridge Mall.
Yeah.
So, this weekend, Ducks Unlimited is having its annual expo at the Renaissance Convention Center, which is sort of interesting.
You think they would have it at the Agri Center? Since they're based there.
I was going to say, maybe they wanted to go off site. Maybe they want to go somewhere new.
True. And I guess it is a more centrally, I guess the Agri Center is more centrally located, really. But for me as a Midtowner, not that I'm going to the Ducks Unlimited Expo, but downtown is more convenient for a lot of people, especially if you're getting like Mississippi and Arkansas people coming in.
Right. I mean, hotels might also play a role in this. We should have asked them, like, why are you holding at the Renaissance instead of at the Agri Center? But I guess we didn't. But they will have hundreds of exhibitors with innovations in hunting, fishing, boating, and outdoor recreation. I am sort of interested in this. I'm going to have to find a reporter to go out there because it's going to feature Ducks Unlimited's regional duck calling contest.
Yes.
And I'm sorry, that interests me. Maybe it shouldn't, but it does.
That's probably, for me, the highlight when I was looking at what's happening here. I was like, that's cool.
I see there's also the World Cut Down Calling Championship, but if I'm honest, I don't know what that is.
I don't either. So I assume it's something to do with duck calling. I don't know.
I really don't know.
They do ducks,
can't know.
Right? I mean, what else do you call? Deer?
We're going to move on.
Okay.
I think this is maybe the most important thing that we're going to talk about this week is that the last day for early voting is Saturday. So you have all week to make your way to the polls. You can even go on Saturday because that's the last day. And then if you don't do that, you'll have to vote at the regular election.
Which is August 6th.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I have to say, pro tip, if you haven't gone yet, I did go on the first day, and I thought I was ready because we had this massive voter guide on our site.
Mm-hmm. And you read every single word of it.
I didn't.
Like I did.
But I did go through the parts that pertain to
Sure, that's good.
my district. But I did not think about the judge. There's a ton of judges.
There are a ton of judges.
So, like, before you go, just look up the judges and make sure you want to keep them or not.
Right.
I wasn't sure on some of them.
Oh, you're talking about the retention judges.
There's a bunch that it's like retain, replace, retain, replace.
I don't know if our voter guide actually handles that question.
It does not.
Yes. So I'm sorry, readers, we have failed you in that way.
But you can probably look up these people.
Yes, you should.
Yeah.
Try to find some information about them if you can. But there are a bunch of judges. And something to say about judges is that their terms are 8 years long. So once a judge is in,
you're stuck with them.
You're not getting them out. So I don't know. It's important. But we do have our voter guide. It has all of the candidates. There are a number of different ballots. There's the county general ballot. There's the state primary. There's the federal primary. There are municipal races. Some are on the county general ballot. Some are on the state and federal primary. I don't know why that is, but my job is not to question why. I just said, here are the candidates, and here's what you can learn about them.
Yes.
I mean, I think that thing was like 10,000 words long.
I believe it. Because
Yeah.
it takes a long time to scroll.
Yeah.
Through.
But it has little drop downs. So
Just helpful.
that makes it easy. So you can vote any day this week early if you don't want to do it later. And I don't know. I just feel like it's more convenient to do it early.
Yeah. You might die. And if you die, at least your vote will be counted.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Or maybe it's not. I don't know. I guess if you die, I don't know. Maybe
I think it's always tricky when you bring up dead voting.
Yeah.
People don't like that. But
true.
I think if you're alive when you vote, it's fine.
Yeah,
and if
that
you
seems like
die after you vote, you really take this seriously. Like you're thinking, I have to vote now because I might die. I'm thinking I should vote early because then I don't have to wait in a long line.
Yeah. Or things could happen on election day. You might have a terrible day. Your car
True.
might break down.
True.
Something crazy might happen.
True.
And you can't get there.
Or you might die.
Or you might die.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Bianca, as always, good to get your perspective on things. Thank you for being here.
Glad to be here.
If you are listening to this podcast, you'll have more news coming up next. And if you are watching this on YouTube, thank you, and we'll see you later on this week.
Herbicide is set to be sprayed across more than 5,000 acres of Arcabella Lake in Mississippi starting next month. Aaron Fleming says that some DeSoto County residents want the spraying stopped.
The herbicide is part of an ongoing project to repair the lake's dam after a potential issue was discovered in 2023. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers Vicksburg District, who is doing the spraying, says vegetation management is needed to ensure the dam's long-term viability. However, local residents are concerned about the impact on the lake ecosystem. An online petition has been started asking the project to be halted and for the USACE to engage with experts and the local community about a safer way forward. The petition already has more than 1,400 signatures. For the Daily Memphian, I'm Aaron Fleming.
Contemporary Media, which publishes the Memphis Flyer, Memphis Magazine, and Memphis Parent, is joining the Noisy Creek Media Network. Noah McLean says Noisy Creek owns 6 publications nationwide, including Seattle's The Stranger, the Portland Mercury, the Chicago Reader, and the Anchorage Press.
Brady Walkinshaw, Noisy Creek founder and CEO, said Noisy Creek will strengthen contemporary media by providing funding through its ad partners, its ticketing service, and bringing in out-of-town subscribers. Noisy Creek will also partner closely with local advisors, community partners, and philanthropists. Walkinshaw said he sees a future where Noisy Creek newsrooms can come together to collaborate on stories showcasing emerging brands, new restaurants, or other stories to audiences nationwide. For the Daily Memphian, I'm Noah McLean.
One agribusiness giant is adding to its local presence, while another is reducing its footprint. Andy Ashby says Olam Agri-Americas has bought a nearly 50-acre property from Cargill for nearly $6 million. The company plans on keeping the facility active.
The property has several cotton warehouses built in the 1920s with nearly 1 million square feet of space, according to the Shelby County property assessor. Olam Agri sources, processes, and trades grains, seeds, rices, edible oils, and cotton. Based in Singapore, it operates in more than 30 countries and focuses on high-growth emerging markets in Asia, Africa, and the Middle East. Olam Agri-Americas is based in Texas. For the Daily Memphian, I'm Andy Ashby.
That's the AMDM for this Monday, July 27th. I'm Natalie Van Gundy. Find links to all of the stories mentioned in this episode in the podcast description. Listen and subscribe to this podcast anywhere you get your podcasts or on the Daily Memphian's website. You can also hear us on WYXR 91.7, where our local news stories air every weekday throughout the day. And don't forget to subscribe to our other weekly podcasts hosted by your favorite reporters, including Soundbites with Holly Whitfield, The Sidebar with Eric Barnes, and the Daily Memphian Grizzlies podcast with Drew Hill and Chris Harrington. You can also sign up for our breaking news alerts and our mini weekly newsletters we offer, like the early word that you heard at the top of this podcast, by visiting dailymemphian.com/email. Thank you for joining us, and be sure to start your day here again tomorrow.